my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here. Hey, it's the Phenomenal STEMist. Hello, everyone. Good night, everyone. I had to jump on. It's been a while. Usually I only come on first Mondays with Brandon, but I decided to start this back up again. Phenomenal financial freedoms, Math Money Mondays. Listen, I'm going to cut right to it. The Dow turned 40,000 a day, I heard. Now, back in March of 2022, just to remind you, um, please join my Phenomenal Financial Freedom group on Facebook. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Listen, guys. March 22nd, I told you guys on Phenomenal Financial Freedom that the Dow is about to hit 40,000. Make sure that you're invested. Let me make sure I'm sharing to, because I know I'm on my main page. Let's make sure that I'm sharing to my group, my special group, Phenomenal Financial Freedom. I said, guys, rule of 72, it takes a certain amount of time for your money to double. And those of you who are late in the game, you still have about 15 to 20 years to start saving for retirement. There's still time for you 45-year-olds, for you 40-year-olds. You still have times, but now is the time. Now is the time. And I'm not sure if anybody said it did anything, but the Dow has hit 40,000 a day. And I just read an article from Pew Research that only 8% of African Americans, 8%, less than 10%, 8 out of 100. There's 100 black people in this country. Only 8 African Americans have an individual brokerage account with stocks in it. Are you listening to me? Like, that's a problem. That is a problem. That is a problem. Sorry, y'all who out there. I see a few of you watching. I know you like, Maya, you always finding problems. Well, this is a problem that needs to be solved. And it needs to be solved quick, fast, and in a hurry. 8 out of 100. 8 out of 100 black people. That means if I go to my church on Saturday, and there's 300 people there, only 20 people, only 20 of the 300 people in that whole audience Hmm? 24 if you want to be exact. 500 people in a church. 30 was 8 times 5. 40 people. 40 people in that whole church. That's a problem. So, how do we solve this problem? We solve this problem by you who are watching getting the. I'm talking. There's three. There's three of you showing. I don't know if it's three. Usually, when it's three, it's one, or sometimes when it's five, is. And by the end of the day, it's gonna be 200 of y'all that viewed this video. Do you have a stock? Do you have a brokerage account with individual stocks in it? Okay. So how do you get a brokerage account with individual stocks in it? You could go look up a past video on phenomenal financial freedom because I covered that. 8 out of 100, guys. Why is that? Because we waste money. We waste money. We buy cars and clothes. We waste money. No, yes, we do. I know people are going to be like, no, it's hard out here. Groceries are expensive. Nah, I see the cars we drive in. And more than 8 of us got Benzes and BMWs and Range Rovers and whatever we buy. I see the sneakers that we buy. I see the clothes that we buy. I see the phones that we invested in. My friends were like, Maya, it's time to upgrade. Upgrade. How many times have you upgraded your phone? And in the amount of times you upgraded your phone, how many of you bought Google stock? For those of you who are droiders and bought a whole bunch of Pixel phones, how many of you bought Apple stock? For you who are true Apple believers, how many of you have Apple? 8 out of 100. My mom says financially they cannot afford to do that. After tithe, rent, mortgage, etc. No, it don't cost mom. It costs nothing to invest in a stock. You can buy stocks for commission free. You go to Starbucks. People go to. I see Starbucks packed every day. I see Chick-fil-A. If you could buy a venti for $10, you could buy a stock for 20, 30, 100. Let's go, guys. Guys, it's time to make better decisions. So the majority of people don't buy stocks because they don't know how, or they put money in their retirement accounts. They put money in their pension. They put money in their 401ks. They put money in their 403bs, and they call that buying stocks. That is not buying stocks. That is putting money in retirement accounts. That is not buying stocks. I know they tell you it is, and it is because though many of those funds have in stocks in it, but you that is a portion. So what I'm saying is that black people, we have to diversify our investments. We have to put $7,000 in our Roth IRA. We have to max that out. We have to max that out. That needs to be a priority. That is buying stocks because you can buy stocks in your Roth IRA. So you max that out, $7,000. So in a year, in 1 year, that's 12 months, $7,000 divided by 12 is $583. $600 a month off the bat needs to go in a Roth IRA. $600 a month. You're like, why? I barely make that. Start making it. 583 times 12 is only $6,000. We got to start finding ways to find this $7,000. we gotta move back home with mama. You gotta. It needs to be priority number one. If you can't find $7,000, you're living above your means. If you can't find $7,000, you're living above your means. You need to things, cut things. Okay, Roth IRA, your 401k, 403b. This is just my opinion. This is what I do. I'm not saying you should do this. I am not a financial advisor, but many people say you should only give up to the match. You should not max out. You could give up to, I think, $22,000 a year. You can max out your 401k, your 403b. But many people say don't max it out. Taxes are going to be way more later than it is now. It is best to go up to the match. And most people most businesses match as much as 6%. 6%. So if you make $50,000 a year, that's what average people make, $50,000 a year. That's $3,000. So you should then put $3,000 in the company match, and they'll match, I think, half of that. They'll give you 45 or 1,500. You get, so you go up to the highest that they'll match, right? So the highest that they'll match is 6%. Then you put 6% of your income, whatever your income is. So if you make $50,000, 6%, that's $3,000. You make $100,000, 6% of that is $6,000. You see? So then you could put another $3,000. Most people in this country make $50,000 a year. So I'm gonna go with you. But if you make more than that or less than that, you need to put that, if they match it, right? So 7,000. Let's say a typical person who makes 50,000, an average person that makes $50,000 a year, 7,000 needs to go in a Roth IRA. 3,000 needs to go in a 401k. That's 10 grand. 10 grand of your 50. 10 grand. That's 20%, right? Basic. What am I saying? I'm saying you need to up it. Black people, we need to up it. We need to live so in such a way, in so below our means, that we can max out the match of a 401k, which is usually about, for somebody who makes about $50,000, $3,000, and max out the Roth IRA, which is $7,000. We need to live in a way. We need to start marrying folk. We need to start moving back home with our mother. We need to start, I don't know, whatever it takes to max out our 401k match and max out our Roth IRA. And then on top of that, get a brokerage account. And at least have $1,000 a year in it or something. I don't have to use that brokerage account to buy individual stocks, and leap that number of having 8 people out of 100 African Americans with individual stocks in an individual brokerage account. What's the difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k? Those are tax-friendly vehicles. We max those out, and then we get a non-tax-friendly individual brokerage account. So I'm saying the reason why I don't want us in the Robin Hoods and the right away is because you got to pay taxes on the growth of those stocks. So you want to put them first in tax-friendly vehicles like the Roth IRA, like the 401k, 403bs. But there's a limit to those tax-friendly vehicles. You can't put everything in there. You can only max them out. What's happening with African Americans is we're not maxing out our tax-friendly vehicles. So we're putting all our money, or the little money that we have, in these IRAs and these 403bs and 401ks, and we can't have access to them until we're 60. And we're not even maxing those out. So there's no point in putting money in an individual stock market account. That's one of the reasons why only 8 of us do it. much less we don't even know what to do. So what I'm saying, guys, is this. It's time that African Americans start playing the game of America. We are in this wealth gap because we are not involved in the capitalistic system of America. And I guess people are like, I don't want to be. I'm like, okay, I can't judge you if you don't want to be. But you living here, you getting taxed here, and you're struggling here. So if you, my friends, those who are watching, majority of you who are watching probably don't have an individual brokerage account. Majority of you who are watching right now, if you would have shown me your bank statements, you would have a lot of debt, right? You would have a lot of credit card debt. You would have student loan debt. You would not have stocks. You would have retirement accounts, maybe 401ks and 403bs that you don't have access to till you're 60. My friends, all I'm asking is that we max out our Roth IRA with $7,000. We do what it takes to match. That means we do what it takes to save $583 and put it in a Roth IRA and buy low cost index funds with it. Low cost index funds with it. Okay? For the most part. And you can choose very few individual stocks, but low stock cost. And then the same thing with your 401k. You max out up to the company match. So if the company matches 6% of your salary, then you put your 6% of your salary in there. Average people making 50 grand, that's only $3,000 a year. So what's $3,000 a year? So $3,000 a year would be 12,000. Sorry, 3,000 divided by 12. Math Money Mondays, that's what it's called. 3,000 divided by 12, $250. So you tell your company to remove $250 from your paycheck, $125 every 2 weeks. Do that now. For those of you who have 401k matches up to 6% if you make 50,000, that's an example, right? And then once you do that, once you max out the company match, meaning they're matching what you put up to a certain number, and you max out your 401k, your Roth IRA, please do me a favor and put $100 a month at least in an individual brokerage account and buy some stocks with it. Find out what some stocks, there's beautiful stocks. I'm not going to name any, but I know what I love. And those of you in phenomenal financial freedom know what I love. Artificial intelligence is booming. Microsoft is probably going to go well. I don't know. It's crashing now. I'm not going to get Microsoft, JPM, Apple, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, insurance stocks. There's just things. Look in your credit cards, MasterCard, American Express. Like, what are the stocks that are too big to fail? Pick a couple of them and put $100 a month in. That's all I'm asking. After you match out, it's time, guys. It's time. It's time to get out of debt. It's time to max out your Roth IRA. It's time to max out your company match. And it's time to get an individual brokerage account. Puts a couple of stocks in there. It's time for us to be financially free. If we do all these things, we won't have money to frivolously spend on. We won't have money to waste on our nails, our hair, I know people like, oh, we got to look good. I said, okay. If you go into the nail salon every week paying $40 for a mani pedi every week, you can put $100 a month. You could put that. Matter of fact, stop going to the mani pedi and decide to start putting $40 a month in an individual brokerage account. I'm gonna stop there. It's not too late for you 40-year-olds, but we're running out of time. We're running out of time. Those of you who are in your 40s, that's you like me. If you're in your 40s and you're not maxing out up to the company match and maxing out your Roth IRA and then putting a little bit of money in an individual brokerage account, you are behind, my friend. It's time for us to start having some tough conversations, and we may need to team up in order to do so. So we may need to start humbling ourselves with each other and stop this fight with each other and get together and start building wealth. Hope you guys have a good night. I am the phenomenal STEMist. Start investing, please.